Rohit, how's it going there today?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm great, but the question is, are you great because you are the new champion there?
It's shine. The sun is shining. My dogs are quiet, and yes, I am the new exhibition champion. So I'm doing fantastic.
When I had the pleasure of interviewing you about 3 months ago, it was kind of the narrative of, well, he's left the Desi hit squad as a full-time member. He's going solo. Let's see what happens. And wow, what a difference 3 months makes, huh?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't see this coming either. But it is a very welcome change. And I'm going to ride this wave as long as I can.
I can only imagine. And does this mean you are singles for good, or are you still a part-timer with the Desi hit squad?
Well, I mean, for me, I always want to be a singles wrestler. I do want those guys to come back though, but I want to move forward. So if they come back, something needs to happen where we move forward. I don't want to move backwards, if that makes any sense. And to me, I got into wrestling to be a singles wrestler and to be a single star, and not saying I don't want to team up with my friends and or anything of that nature, because I enjoy teaming up with them and just the camaraderie. But I also want to do my own thing, which right now I'm absolutely loving. It's just me going out there being me, cutting promos, wrestling matches that I want to wrestle, and it's just fun. I'm having a great time. So I would like to keep it like this, but you never know what the almighty pen will say. So
The almighty pen. Well, you had said when we spoke that you felt that the one thing that had kind of held you back in the past was your promos, but that is something that you had been working on. Was it that you were studying a lot of tape? What was it that you actually did to put the work in?
well, for my promos, I just wasn't getting the chance to talk. When I was in the hit squad, Gama was the mouthpiece. He was getting all the cool old school heat and stuff like that, and we would just get lines here and there that I'd get slapped in the face. My bread and butter is my promos. I am a very old school wrestling fan, so my style isn't that of a TJP. My style isn't that of a Chris Bay. I can do some cute stuff in the ring, but my style is old school. Like I want to cut the 605 Saturday night WTVS style promos. You know what I mean? Like that stuff. I want to be in front of the microphone and just going off. And that's something they've been letting me do. They've been giving me backstage vignettes, like the thing with Moose. A lot of people got a kick out of that, and I can be serious, and then I can be very funny at the same time. So I just never had the chance to talk. And then it was funny when they gave me, it was a few months ago, I had cut those promos about how I was done being a joke and all this stuff. Those promos got a lot of good buzz. And then I got pulled back again for whatever reason. And then finally, boom, they just put the rocket to me and let me go, which, to be honest, man, is a great, great feeling.
Right, that's a good point. The highs and lows, the starts and the stops, and all that. Have you always been this adaptable and understanding of the process, or is that something that you mellowed in the last few years and started to understand the patience needed?
No, it is frustrating. Wrestling is always bittersweet. You know what I mean? Like, one of the best things ever for me was getting signed to Impact Wrestling. I never thought that would happen, but I didn't come in with any fanfare. I wasn't a big indie name. I didn't know anybody in the company. I didn't have any cool sports background. I was a guy that had an opportunity, took advantage of the opportunity, and they gave a shot. I believe in myself. I believe in my talent. I think I know my worth. And I was getting frustrated. Like the hit squad, we'd be making some momentum, and then it would stop. And then I started to make some momentum, and then it would stop. And I was like, man, what are you guys doing with me? I know I can offer the company more. And then boom, out of the blue, this happened. And when I first heard about it, I honestly thought it was a rib. I didn't think it was real. I was like, these guys are messing with me. This isn't real. There's no way this is real. There's no way this is happening. And it did. And it just, man, like, it is tough, and I try not to sit there and mope and complain. I do get frustrated, but I just try to roll with the punches, and whatever they give me, I still want to make the best of it and show, like, okay, you guys gave me this. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to make it something special. And I think everything that they threw my way, I felt like I did that, and now here's my prize, which is the X Division title. And man, like I said a second ago, it just feels, it's still unreal. I can't even catch up with my social media because it's just bang, 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 a comment, a post, a tweet, or something, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
Still real to you, damn it. And something you said
Yeah.
intrigued me there. You said you didn't really know anybody in Impact when you signed there, but looking around the roster now, it seems like 20% of the roster is from Michigan.
I love that. I mean, remember back in the day, you had the Steiners, you had Kevin Nash, you had all these guys from Michigan, and then, of course, the machine guns were blowing up, Sabu. So that was pretty cool. Bobo Brazil, you had the Sheik. So Michigan's always been a great place for professional wrestling. But the roster now, yeah, when I first got there, I didn't know anybody. It had a lot of ex-WWE guys there. It was very cliquey. Fowler was there, and he was there before me, so him and I just kind of attached to each other because we were both in the same boat. But then the roster, people started to leave, and then next thing you know, people that were hungry and that were hustling and that you saw on the indies, and then you knew them, or either that you became friends with them there because you were all trying to do the same thing. Make the company successful, but also make a name for yourself and show the world why you're there. And then we've all just been working together to prove that point. And I think the locker room right now is as close, as far as since I've been there, it's as close as it's ever been.
Not a lot of people that you're going to speak with like their coworkers, so I'm really glad that you do. And bringing this in a different direction, when I spoke with you 3 months ago at the tail end of the interview, I asked you about what music you work out to, and you mentioned Slayer. I think you mentioned As I Lay Dying. Have you always been a metal guy?
I've actually been both. When I was growing up, metal, I just was attracted to both metal and hip-hop. If you look at my playlist on my phone, it is anything from the Wu-Tang Clan, Bob Marley, Frank Sinatra, to Five Finger Death Punch, or like something, or Kill Switch Engage. You know what I mean? It's to Slayer, to Black Sabbath. The first CD I ever owned was Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and then the next one was the Jimi Hendrix Experience, the 4-disc set, and then the next one was Enter the 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang Clan. So my musical taste is deep. It's very, very deep. But when it comes to working out, it's usually fast-paced hip-hop or like it's metal. And I guess to answer your question, yeah, I've always been a metal fan.
A few of the artists you just mentioned are on kind of an infamous soundtrack called the Judgment Night soundtrack. Were you a fan of that one?
Man, I just got done talking about that. We talked about the movie. My friends at they have this podcast, Banter and Babble. They do like these quick ones for like a half hour, and they actually brought that up, Judgment Night. And I remember that it was it Bring the Noise with Chuck D and was it Anthrax?
That track was a couple of years before that, maybe 2 years before that. The Judgment Night soundtrack was they paired the best hip-hop bands and the best hard rock artists of the moment together. So it's Slayer and Ice-T.
What was the main... I remember that soundtrack, and I remember that movie because Dennis Leary was in it.
Exactly.
And well, that was the one, right? Judgment Night was with Dennis Leary?
Yes, Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill and all that. So that one is not yet on your listening radar?
No, but I know of it because I remember when it came out and everybody made a big deal out of it because it was a mix of the two.
Exactly. Well, hey, 2 quick questions and then you're a free man. And the first one is, like everybody, you've kind of been holed up for months now. So even if you weren't a TV guy, you kind of become a TV guy. Any TV recommendations you can pass along?
I just watched, man, everyone asks me this and I always forget. To be honest, 9 times out of 10, if I'm not playing video games or working out, if it's in the daytime, I'm outside. I don't like to be. It's the weather. It's nice. I'm in Michigan. It's going to be cold soon, so I want to get as much heat as possible. I would say I can't remember what I watched. It was a show. Oh, it was Imposters. But then I was catching up on that. But then that got canceled, so there is no season 3. And then, to be honest, at night, if I'm falling asleep, I just put on old episodes of The Simpsons until I pass out, or wrestling, one of the two. I did honestly start to get into conspiracy theory stuff, or like down the rabbit hole. I watched that documentary on what's his face? Oh man, the rich dude that was doing all those terrible things. God, was it Epstein? Yeah, that was insane. That was, God, man, that was rough. That was a rough watch on Netflix. And then next thing you know, I started watching all these true crime things about serial killers or the mob and stuff like that. So I got interested in a lot of that stuff and listening to podcasts about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's just something to do.
That all brings it all together. Now we know where the great promos come from. This is a guy that doesn't just eat, live, breathe wrestling, but he has interesting interests outside. And a quick bonus question, because you mentioned that you're a gamer. Are you into Google Stadia at all, or is that way off your wavelength?
No, PS4. I remember the Stadia and I looked into it. It just wasn't for me. I'm rocking the PS4 right now or the Nintendo Switch. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, which I absolutely love. It's a samurai game, and I'm a huge fan of samurai. And, of course, the samurai cinema, you know, the old Kurosawa films or Zatoichi films, stuff like that. So this is right up my alley.
Geez, you keep getting more and more interesting, man. The next time we talk, I'm going to ask you about movies, but I'll ask you the closer, Rohit, and that's any last words for the kids?
In all honesty, it may sound cheesy, but, man, you got to follow your dreams. I was working a full-time job for years, trying to pay off my house, started wrestling late, what you would consider late in life, age-wise, and I have done nothing but hustle, 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 paid off my house, got signed to Impact Wrestling, and now I'm the X Division champion. It's because I didn't stop, and you got to keep doing it. People are going to say you need to stop doing that because you're not going to make it. It's on you. You're the only person that's going to drive yourself, and sometimes you're not going to have any supporters, and you just got to keep on doing it. And when you get there and when you make it, it is the sweetest thing ever.
I can't top that. Thank you so much for your time, and just keep up the greatness there. Not that you need that encouragement.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Paltrocast.